purchasing power parity theory applies to unrestricted trade of goods. The exchange rate between two countries adjusts in the long run to reflect price differences between the two currency regions. That's what the PPP theory says. And given a basket of goods, the same price should be around the world. What is the meaning of this? Let's use a simple example. I have here the Big Mac Index, which is an application of the PPP, and I also have the xrate.com website open. This is for Mexican pesos. $0.055 are needed per peso, or conversely 18 pesos per dollar. So let's use this rate. 18 pesos exchange for $1. Now let me go back to the Big Mac Index. It says here that in January of 2016, the Big Mac was approximately $4.93 in the United States. Well, for simplicity, let's use $5. Excuse me. Big Mac. This is the exchange rate. Let's use $5 in the United States. Well, going back to the rate here, let's put $5 on the dollars. $5 at this rate is equal to what? Well, that is equal to, you take the $5, when you have it this way, you multiply across and then you divide by this number. $5, you multiply this by 18 pesos and divide by $1. Okay? Dollar cancel each other, and then this is equal to 90 pesos. Okay. So according to this exchange rate, the price of a Big Mac in Mexico should be 90 pesos. But what if it is 60 pesos? Or what if the Big Mac in Mexico is instead 120 pesos? Okay. Then we don't have what is called the purchasing power parity, consistency here between the exchange rate and the actual price of a Big Mac if we use the Big Mac as a measure of purchasing power parity. And let me go back to the website. Here you have all these countries here in this area have the currency undervalued. In other words, the price of a Big Mac is not equal to $4.93. It's less than that. Okay, for example, in China it was $2.68, and this is China here. Okay, it was $2.68. Well, if you take $2.68, if you take the price in dollars, this is when the price is converted back into dollars. So in our operation, let's say it is published that $1 exchanges, again, let me write this down, for 18 pesos. Okay, and somebody goes to Mexico and find out that the Big Mac is, let's just put any number here, 70 pesos for a Big Mac. Okay. So according to this exchange rate, the Big Mac should be 90 pesos. Okay. But it is 70 pesos. Well, let's convert the 70 pesos into dollars. How many dollars will that be? Okay. $70, let me simplify this. 70 times 1, remember you multiply across, then divide by this. I'm going to have to do this, 70 divided by 18. That's 388. $388, see? So if you convert this price of the Big Mac back into dollars, that is equivalent to 388 at the current rate of exchange. So what is the conclusion? Well, assuming that the price of the Big Mac in the United States is $5, okay, we take 388. What proportion of $5 is 388? You're not going to be responsible for all this. I'm just explaining further the what you see at the website, at the Economist website. This is 0.78, or 78%. Okay, 388 is 78% of 5. Or you can say in Mexico, and please keep in mind that I made that up, okay, the 70 pesos per Big Mac. So the conclusion is that in Mexico, the price of a Big Mac in dollars at the current rate is 78% of the price in the United States. So the conclusion is, if you subtract 78 from 100, that is 22%. The peso is 22% undervalued. Okay, so that is the conclusion. Let me go back to the website. So in the case of China, they converted the price of the Big Mac back into dollars using the exchange rate of the yuan against the dollar. It is 268. What is 268 in relation to 493? Well, it's approximately 54%. So in other words, the yuan is about 46% undervalued. And so are all these currencies in relation to the dollar, according to the Big Mac index. And these ones here are overvalued. Notice the case of Switzerland, the currency is overvalued. All right, so that is the purchasing power parity. It doesn't explain the exchange rate at a particular point in time. In other words, it doesn't take into account these differences across countries. It just predicts that the rates should be the same in the long run, as it says in the previous slide.